Stygian Dogs, it's July 10th, and this marks the delayed release of issue number 3 of the Savage Sword of Conan from Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures. This gives us a Conan feature written by Frank Tieri and illustrated by Cary, the third and final part of Patch Zircher's Master of the Hunt, and much, much more. Let's kick things off by taking a look at the covers. And we start with Alex Horley's cover A. I really do love this one so much. Conan battling a werewolf, the deep blues. I think it's gorgeous. And it's in line with the kind of covers I like to see with the Savage Sword of Conan. And cover B is from Cary. It looks great, and it also ties in with the main story. So before we get started, this will be a flip through, not a read through. There will be image spoilers, but I won't linger. It's a peek and a tease. So make sure to grab a physical copy or two. You don't want to miss out. Here we go. The inside cover gives us an advertisement for the Heroic Legends series and its recent releases. These stories are great when you're in need of a monthly fix of Robert E. Howard-inspired short fiction. It looks like the latest offering from Titan Books is Solomon Kane, The Banquet of Souls by Stephen Saville. Opposite, the Numidian Chronicles and a map of the Hyborian Age. Turning the page, we get the production credits for the teams at Heroic Signatures and Titan Comics, and then the table of contents for this 64-page issue. This month's Conan feature is Conan, Wolves of the Tundra by Frank Tieri and Cary. This is followed by a preview of John C. Hocking's novel Conan, City of the Dead, and then a short biography on John C. Hocking. After that, the much-anticipated Part 3 of Patch Zircher's Solomon Kane story, Master of the Hunt, and then a silent story from Alan Quah, Conan, Lure of the Pit Creature. And then the pinup listing. We get an image of Kull by Alex Horley, who also did cover A of this issue. And last but certainly not least is a pinup illustration of Conan by Roberto de la Torre with a poem, Call Thee to Crom by Jim Zub. And we kick things off with Alex Horley's portrait of Kull, massive battle axe in hand, dripping with the blood of slain serpent men. And then we come to Frank Tieri and Cary Conan, Wolves of the Tundra. This finds Conan in lycanthropic lust, seeking to free himself from a newfound curse. I enjoyed it. Tieri's story is straightforward, unpretentious, and Nord keeps it simple too. Bold lines, he lets the contrast of light and dark fill out the environment. Detail is reserved mostly for facial expressions. Cary most recent Conan appearance has been this brilliant cover for issue number 4 of Jim Zub's Conan the Barbarian, Conan in battle with frost giants, and of course he'll be forever connected to Conan via his work with Kurt Busiek in the Dark Horse years. Overall, it was a really fun story with some exceptional panels. I really dig Cary Conan, and I enjoyed the touch of humor that Frank Tieri gives us at the story's close. Upon completing Wolves of the Tundra, I had tried to recall Conan's previous encounters with werewolves. My most recent recollection was Timothy Truman's excellent Conan the Cimmerian with art by Tomas Girello and Richard Corbett. Well, a quick web search came up with this Dark Worlds quarterly article from April 24th of this year. It's titled Conan vs. Werewolves, written by G.W. Thomas. Thomas starts by acknowledging that the title of his article is a little problematic since Conan never confronted werewolves in Robert E. Howard's original stories, though he did confront were-hyenas in Queen of the Black Coast. The author addresses those stories in which Howard does include lycanthropes and other were-beasts, including in The Forest of Yfair and Wolf's Head. Following the details on Robert E. Howard's were stories, Thomas gives an overview of the Kull, Conan, Red Sonja, and Solomon Kane stories in which werewolves, were-beasts, and were-women do appear. There are quite a number. This is an excellent resource on the topic, so please do check out the link in the description. And as for Conan transforming into a werewolf, I believe Conan Wolves of the Tundra sets the precedent there. Turning the page, we come to an excerpt from John C. Hocking's Conan, City of the Dead, or more specifically, Conan and the Living Plague. This is one of the 2 novels featured in Conan, City of the Dead. After the excerpt, we have a chance to read a brief biography of the author. Hocking writes about his father's love for pulp fiction and how it resulted in an early exposure to many of the pulp greats, most impactfully Robert E. Howard. Hocking identifies The People of the Black Circle from the Lancer edition of Conan the Adventurer as the reading experience that transformed his tastes and showed him what a story could be. The author further maps out his Conan journey through the comics and Savage Sword of Conan, and his continued fascination with the prose pastiche, which led to his toying with the idea of what he might do if he were to produce his own pastiche work. What started with creating an outline of an imaginary book resulted in a finished novel 2 years later. Conan and the Emerald Lotus saw an unlikely path to publication in 1995, and Hocking was encouraged to write additional novels. Unfortunately, his completion of Conan and the Living Plague coincided with corporate changes and publishing refocusing that placed the follow-up novel in limbo. But here we are, Conan and the Emerald Lotus, available in print for the first time in 27 years, and The Living Plague available to readers for the first time ever. Hocking closes by saying that the works are a sincere, heartfelt tribute to Robert E. Howard and his immortal Cimmerian, and that he hopes that fans and readers experience even a small part of the vast joy that he felt in writing them. So, Conan City of the Dead is getting great reviews everywhere. I've just completed The Emerald Lotus and The Living Plague. I'm about a third of the way through. It's great so far. Something I hadn't realized is that if you've read the Heroic Legends short by John C. Hocking called Black Starlight, you will be familiar with the characters that appear in Emerald Lotus. So that made it an all the more exciting read. Can't recommend it enough. And just to show off one thing, I love a hardcover book, and I do love the embossing that appears. So here we have this nice red foil embossing, a sword and a battle axe, and on the spine, Conan City of the Dead by John C. Hocking. So definitely grab this one. There's going to be a link in the video description. After the expose on Conan City of the Dead, we come to the third and final part of Patch Zircher's Solomon Kane story, Master of the Hunt. Now, right away, I was enamored with Patch's opening panels and the prospect of the otherworld depicted therein. As I read through the rest of the story, my mind kept thinking about potential future storylines. What impact does the proof of the profane have on a man who professes such steadfast religious conviction? How might future Solomon Kane stories engage with this world building? Ultimately, I was left wanting much more of Zircher's Solomon Kane, and I feel he's created a great conduit for exploring the character further, so I'm crossing my fingers there. Following the Solomon Kane story, we get an advertisement for Conan, Battle of the Black Stone, a new event starting this fall. And then we come to something I've been really anticipating, Jim Zub's battle poem, Call Thee to Crom. As we see, it's accompanied by an illustration by Rob de la Torre. And while I promise no spoilers, I am definitely going to read this one out loud. Silence now. The blade's been fed, a meal most well-deserved. Upon its keen-kept, blood-sparked edge, the mountain god's been served. A wielder, wild or wary, a foe here lay deceased, and lo upon this rock we share, the chalice of the beast. Drink deep, or be consumed. Survive, or be thee slain. Now fill this cup of battle, and spill thy soul of pain. Thy phantom shall not haunt me, thy sacrifice forgot. On this scarred shore, stained ever black, the legacy left rot. Such is the way of soldiers, a life forged on the sword. Ye crossed Crom's stone-set children, feast on thy grim reward. Great stuff, and exactly the kind of thing that we enjoy in Savage Sword of Conan. And following Zub's poem, we get Conan, Lure of the Pit Creature, written and drawn by Alan Quah. This one's a neat one. It's a silent story. It is very Conan. It's great. Quah's recent contributions to Conan have included the covers for Conan the Barbarian number 5 and Conan the Barbarian number 10 from Titan Comics and Heroic Signatures. After that, we see an advertisement for the Savage Sword of Conan, Conan the Barbarian, Volume 1, bound in black stone. It's a trade paperback of the first 4 issues of the excellent Jim Zub and Rob de la Torre. And then we see 2 definitive classic Conan collections, remastered and oversized, Conan the Barbarian Omnibus and the Savage Sword of Conan Omnibus. These are coming in September. Unfortunately, they've been delayed from earlier dates. Personally, I'm a little disappointed. My kids are going off to camp, and I was really hoping for delivery in July so I would have time to check them out. but I can wait till September. That's cool. And on the back cover, next issue, the Savage Sword of Conan monthly comics collide with an epic, oversized crossover issue. Prepare for the imminent launch of the Conan comic event Battle of the Black Stone, with this special issue boasting a rogues gallery of comic artists and writers channeling Robert E. Howard's most iconic characters. Explore captivating stories that set the stage for the miniseries featuring Conan, Brissa, Solomon Kane, Dark Agnes, Conrad and Carawan, written by Jeff Shanks, and El Borak. The Savage Sword of Conan issue number 4 is not one to be missed. We'll try not to pay attention to that little error there. Frank Tieri's tale of our Sumerian's quest to free himself from a werewolf's curse was satisfying as all get out, and man, how great was it to see Cary in the pages of the Savage Sword of Conan. The bonus material, the City of the Dead excerpt, the Alex Horley illustration, Jim Zub's battle poem, and the accompanying illustration from Rob de la Torre, this is the stuff that really gets readers enthusiastic for the series. Alan Quah's silent story was pitch perfect, and I seriously need more Solomon Kane from Patch Zircher. Fortunately, Savage Sword of Conan number 4 is going to have that on offer. All in all, issue number 3 has been another great outing, and I highly recommend picking it up. Now, one question remains. Will we see the series extended beyond the first year's 6 issues? Fred Malmberg has suggested that San Diego Comic-Con might be worth paying attention to in this regard. So let's just wait and see. Thanks for watching, liking, consider subscribing, and until next time, take it easy, you Stygian Dogs.